Hello, and thank you for joining us for this short presentation brought to you by the Oregon Housing and Community Services Multifamily Energy Program. This is one of 4 modules looking at the key factors in intentional design for energy efficiency. In this module, we'll be looking at the anatomy of a design charrette or pre-construction meeting. Before an intentional design meeting happens, there's some preparation work that needs to be taken care of. As we've mentioned in other modules, assigning a champion for the energy efficiency in the intentional design process will be a critical piece of this puzzle. Often, the champion is a member of the developer team or the architect, but in many cases, the best scenario is to have the energy consultant fulfill this role. So as part of the preparation, this person needs to be officially assigned and that responsibility taken hold of. Once you have an energy efficiency champion, they need to understand the current status of the design and the project's description. This may include understanding what energy efficiency measures are being considered, optimizing to find the best path that allow for the most energy efficiency measures and potentially the most incentives or rebates or tax credits or other benefits to be taken advantage of, as well as understanding some basic things like what is the overall timing of the project? How is the project being sited? Will work be completed in phases or in one straight development? Then it's time to build an agenda that is inclusive of energy efficiency. Now, with many intentional design processes, more than energy efficiency is also being considered. This is a great time to look at water savings, waste management, the sequencing of the project, how it may change if you're inserting a new technology or process, how the aesthetics will be impacted by new energy efficiency measures, and whether or not the energy efficiency measures that have been selected will align with program rules if you're participating in a program such as the Oregon Multifamily Energy Program. Finally, develop an attendee list with 2 columns. On the left column should be all the mandatory attendees. This should be at least 1 representative from the development company, the architect, the HVAC engineer, and the project manager, as well as the energy consultant if they are not already the energy efficiency champion. On the preferred list would also include all the key trades that will likely be directly impacted by these energy efficiency measures. So, key trades such as HVAC, insulation, trim work, drywall, roofing, cladding, exterior, plumbing, electrical, etc., etc. Having a good understanding of who is preferred to be there may differ, again, based on the size and complexity of the project and the energy efficiency measures that are being considered. Now that we've created the list in a basic agenda for our pre-construction meeting, we need to think about what are the basics that will make this a successful meeting. The basics will always start by confirming the project goals and ensuring that these are adhered to throughout the discussion in this meeting. The next will be to identify the perceived and real challenges and hurdles that may get in our way to putting in new energy efficiency measures. Some of these may be first cost type of hurdles, others may be impacts to sequencing or to the use of space, such as chases in between floors, conduits, etc. So understanding which of these are perceived, which of these are functional problems, will allow you to brainstorm ideas to create actual solutions. Once you've got this, we need to then really take a look at what is the cascading impact to the trades that will be involved. Will there be additional training needs that need to be met? Is there a trade that needs onboarding and experience with learning how to put in a new measure or following a new process? Who will be and how will they be verifying that these measures were installed correctly in the field? The energy efficiency champion should also be taking copious and detailed notes during this meeting. We found often that near the end of a meeting, something simple spoken by a trade that's responsible for trim or a final commissioning can actually have a cascading backwards impact to some of the original concepts discussed at the beginning of the meeting. So being able to take these detailed notes and then align them before distributing them to everyone is a critical step. There's not a set amount of time that an intentional design meeting needs to take. We've worked on various projects where they've happened in as short as 45 minutes for some simple measures, and as long as a half to 3/4 day for more complicated projects and more complicated measures that are being installed. So really, after you put your agenda together and start to think about who will actually be there and start working through how this will likely pan out, you can then schedule how long of a meeting you believe you will need. When we first begin talking about this with most developers, architects, energy consultants, and HVAC engineers, this feels like a lot. So we encourage you to think about what other pre-construction meetings are you already having. Now, often we have a pre-construction safety meeting, and that is quite frequently held on the job site before we really start construction or retrofitting. The challenge with this may be a little bit too late to have the full design meeting, but it may be a great time to confirm the goals, to confirm that scopes of work include the energy efficiency measures and the responsibilities are being accepted. But take a look at what other pre-construction meetings you already have on the books and see where can you either add components of the intentional design meeting or host a full design charrette that's inclusive of everything. Really making the best use of your existing series of meetings and finding the right place to introduce these topics will make this a much smaller hill to climb at the beginning and make it much more palatable for those involved. And with that, we want to thank you for spending a few minutes with us today in going through this module. Again, this is one of 4, and we certainly hope you will view the other 3 modules in short trainings in this series.